Hi everyone, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. This is Melanie. I am in the craft room and I am going to be putting together my day in the life page. So for those of you that are Ellie Edwards fans, you know all about it already. For those of you that have never heard of it, basically the idea about this project is to take photos throughout a specific day that kind of captures your everyday life and document it accordingly. This is the first year I've done it, and I was a little hesitant because my life's really not that interesting, but I still managed to take enough photos, so that's what we're going to do today. I've printed out my photos and trimmed them down so that they're all 2 by 2. And the reason why I am doing that is because I had previously purchased some Ellie Edwards Day in the Life kits when they were on sale. And the ones in particular that I want to use are these ones here where they have the hour and then AM, PM on them. I roughly took a photo every hour. That's about all the planning I did for it. I didn't really have any other concept or thoughts or anything like that going into it, so that's pretty much as far as I got. Also included in my Day in the Life supplies, I have this stamp set, which I probably am not going to use because I'm using the cards, so we'll put that away. I have this one, which I might use. It just says things like around here, day in the life, everyday stuff, right now, observations, and then numbers. I also have some puffy stickers. Not sure if I will use these or not. Maybe, if they work, why not? They're a little bit of a different color scheme, but you know what? If they work, why not use them, right? I have some other cards here. There are some 4 by 6, which I'm not planning on using, so I'm going to pass those over. Basically, my thought is to use one of these, 12 3 by 4 cards, pockets, 12 3 by 4 pockets, and use both sides, because I think I have enough photos. There might be some of these cards that I think might work, so I'm going to keep those because I think I'm going to have a few extra pockets left over. And then there are some stickers, so we'll use those as well. And then there's this little ephemera pack, and I think I need to find a bowl or something to put these in. So I am going to lay everything out, and I will be back to let you see where I'm at. Okay, I have everything laid out with what I think I'm going to do. I had to pull a couple cards from my stash, so I pulled this card here. I don't know where this came from, probably Ellie Studio. And I also pulled out this card to use there. I think those are the only cards that I pulled out. I had cards for the times where I was sleeping, and I didn't really want to keep them because it's not going to be enough to do another day in the life. So what I thought I would do is I trimmed out the numbers, and I'm just going to align them here on this particular card to represent the hours that I was sleeping, and up here I'm going to use this card that I got from one of the Ellie Edwards kits to put the 4 numbers on, and I'm just going to write sleeping. It says today I blah blah blah. So I think that's it. Now I also went through my Stampin' Up! Markers and I tried to color match a marker with each of the different colors of the cards, because I want to keep this fairly simple, but looking at this, it looks a little plain, so for my taste. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of journaling at the top of each one, and then I thought what I would do is carry this dot theme and then just do some colored dots around the outsides of the squares, and hopefully that will look good. And on the title card I will put the date. I'm just not sure how I'm going to do that yet, whether I'm going to use stickers or a date stamp. So I'm going to adhere everything down, do my journaling, and add the dots, and then I will check back with you to let you know what my next step is. Okay, so I managed to glue down my photos, and then I got all distracted with the you know, the decorating bits. So what I decided to do, again, keeping it very simple and consistent, is I had these little circles from an Ellie Edwards kit, but I didn't have enough for all the photos and I kind of wanted to be consistent. So what I did was I took a 1-inch circle punch and found some coordinating cardstock, or at least as close as I could get. And then I used the Ellie Edwards stickers and I just layered them on top of each other so that they look something like this. And then I lined them up with each page. I'm not sure, or each page with each pocket. I don't think I'm going to put them in the same spot in every one. I think that's where I'm going to add a little bit of variety. But I could change my mind on that. So, I need to figure that out so I know where I'm going to have my journaling. I think that's the next step. So I will be back in a bit. Okay, so all my journaling is done. The embellishments are pretty much finished. I did go for consistency, so the cards mostly look the same. The only ones that would be a little bit different are the 2 cards that actually the 3 cards that I added in separate. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do for the date yet. So I got to come up with an idea for that, and I think I'm going to try and add some of these stickers throughout, and I might I might go and dig through my enamel dots and add some of those. So once I get that all done, I'll come back and I'll show you the cards and put it all together. Okay, so I decided to skip the enamel dots and just leave it with the word stickers. I'm gonna as I put them into the page protector, I'll show you the cards. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and then you can have a quick look-see. So all I did here was just add the date with a date stamp and then a couple of the labels. So for the first 4 hours of the day while I was sleeping, I just cut up the cards, added them in, and then just talked about how I was adjusting to a time difference because I had just gotten back from Washington, D.C. the day before, and that being on the East Coast, there's a 3-hour time difference. So I had gone to bed at 8 o'clock and I thought I did pretty good that I lasted until until 5 before I woke up. So 5 a.m. approximately is when I awoke, and I had to dig through my suitcase for some of my cosmetics and brushes and stuff like that, because when I got home the day before this day, I was too lazy to unpack. I'm not one of those that does it right away. I put off until tomorrow what I can do tomorrow. Anyway, so that just meant that I had to scramble around in my luggage to find what I was looking for. So by 6 a.m. I was on the road on my way to work, and not only did I have the time change from East Coast, West Coast, but also on Sunday was the spring forward. So it's quite dark now when I leave for work at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm actually technically at work by 6:30, but I just attached this into my 7 o'clock time slot. This is just a picture of my cubicle at the office where I work. Nothing too glamorous. It's not like anything fancy. Just is what it is. 8 o'clock. So because I had traveled, I had no food in the house. So I should have gone grocery shopping the night before, but to be honest, I was just too tired and I didn't. So that meant a breakfast run at Panera. 9 o'clock is all about my cup of tea. I am not a coffee drinker, but I do enjoy a cup of tea, and actually I have more than one throughout the day. Or actually mostly through the morning. By noon afternoon I don't have anything. 10 o'clock is, I just did a snapshot of my phone with the weather app up, just showing that it's 14 degrees at 10:30 in the morning. That's Celsius, not Fahrenheit. I am Canadian and I have not yet fully adjusted to the Fahrenheit system. I'm getting there, but I still like to think of things in Celsius. So 11, I think it was probably actually closer to 10:30, but again, who really cares? I went for a walk. I usually try to go for a walk every morning for about half an hour, and I walk around a big block, I guess. And what was interesting was that part of the sidewalk, that's what this photo is full of water, and it's actually just, it's like a little waterfall falling down these stairs. And that's because we had rain the night before, and I guess it must accumulate somewhere higher and it all drains out over the stairs. This was a filler card. It's a picture of, I guess is this an iris? I think it's an iris. That I took while on my walk, so I wanted to include that. Noon, I took a picture of my lunch, which was a salad at Panera. Yes, you're probably noticing a trend here. Panera is right next to the office, so it's very easy to access. And again, no groceries, no lunch. This would be another filler card. I figured I should include a couple photos of myself. This was just a selfie that I took at lunchtime while at Panera. So let me zoom out and show you what this page looks like, and then we'll go to the second page. So I think that looks pretty cool. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's flip this over and let's do the other side. I'll zoom you back in. Okay, so after lunch, so 1 o'clock, I have a picture of some of the work that I was doing. So I was in Washington, D.C. to do some training, I guess, or conduct some training. And I was just reviewing the evaluations just to see what people had to say. And fortunately, it was pretty good. So that's always a good thing. At 2 o'clock, I took a picture of my laptop. This is pretty much my view for most of the day. I do have a second monitor that I also use, but I interchange between that and my laptop continually throughout the day. Then 3 o'clock, I managed to take another selfie. This was a little tricky. Those overhead lights in the office are so bright, it's hard to get a decent photo with your camera and not looking obvious to everybody else what you're trying to accomplish. I guess I could have asked someone to take a photo, but that just felt, I don't know, just seemed kind of silly, and I didn't want to explain what I was doing. So 4 o'clock, this is me getting into my car. I'm still in the parking lot at the office, and I'm about to head home. My commute for Los Angeles is not bad. It's about 30 minutes for me to get home. It's about 10 minutes longer than it does take me to get there in the morning, but that's okay. That's not so bad. At 5 o'clock, I went to the Dollar Tree. If you are familiar with our channel, we have a budget crafting series going on, and I hadn't been at the Dollar Tree in about a month or so, and I wanted to see what new goodies were available so that I could do another little haul video for that series. 6 o'clock, yes, I'm eating out yet again, this time at Subway. Again, no groceries, no food, and I could have picked up groceries, but I didn't feel like it. So we'll do that the next day. I did manage to work up some ambition to do some stuff, and one of them was laundry, so overly glamorous, I know. I'm very fortunate that I have in-suite laundry in my apartment, so that makes doing laundry very easy and not quite as intolerable. So in other words, it makes it more tolerable. At 8 o'clock, I actually went into the craft room to videotape some unboxing videos. 3 of my subscriptions, they all come in within a week of each other. And of course, what happened to be the week that I was gone, so I wanted to do some unboxings. So that's where I went in to do that. And then basically for the rest of the evening, I worked on some of my organization. So whenever I purchase new craft supplies, I catalog everything. So that's just a picture of that. And then a picture of all my shopping that I've done recently and what it looks like, you know, as I get this sorted out. I also multitask while I am doing this and watching some TV. And in this case, I've been binge watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Yes, I am a Trekkie, sort of. I enjoy them. I'm not like overly, what's the right word? I don't fangirl, right? And then the last picture of me is the last is a picture of me heading off to sleep because I was very tired. The time change, of course, always takes a few days to get through that, right? So, oh, this feels very thick. Do I have an extra card in here? Oh no, it's not. Okay, so let me just get this last card in here, and then I will zoom you out so you can see the full page. Other way, Melanie. So that is what the second page looks like. So all contained within one pocket, which is great. And I'm just going to slide this into my regular 2018 album. I'm not going to do anything special with it. For the month of March is where it's going to go. And I think that's about does it. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you enjoyed. And maybe next time Allie Edwards has a day in the life, you will join if you haven't already done so. And until next time, happy crafting.